And may I now request my co-host, Avneet, to please call upon Andre Riehl, sir.
Yogi Andre Riehl, as he is addressed popularly. As we all know, he was profoundly touched by his contact with J. Krishnamurti and Sri Anand Mai. With them, he learned to develop two important aspects in the spiritual path linked to these two great instructors, discernment and relation. It was finally his decisive meeting with Chandraswami in the Brahmic lineage of the Udasins that allowed him to integrate all the previous teachings. Returning to France, he immediately devoted several years to the study of teaching of yoga before becoming a teacher himself. He was named president of the Federation of Traditional Yoga in 1992. He is certified teacher in Nidra Yoga. Now I would like to request Andre Riehl to say a few words for us.
As you are, Dr. G, an example for me, and I have nothing else to say, but I noticed that even if you have nothing to say, you can keep on. Some of you might know that I've been coming to Jain for the last 7 years or 8 years, and I've built my own yoga center here. And first of all, I would like to invite all the helpers here. We're going to have yoga classes from the day after tomorrow for 1 week. So you're all invited to come. You might follow classes with Mr. Arnaud, who gave some Hatha Yoga classes. He will do it every day. So you are all invited whenever you wish. It is our way to thank you for all this invitation for all of us. So you please very welcome. The other thing is, when I first came to Jain, it was because of a whole friendship with a Swami who is running an ashram here. And, you know, building a small place in India is really something tough for a Westerner. It's really hard. But we succeed. And with years going on, I was wondering, what are we going to do with this place? What is the meaning of my coming here? And it wasn't really clear until I met Panditji. We met through internet. This is the new yoga way. And the first time we met, we just fall in the arms one to the other, as if we were very, let's say, old friends. And that's how I feel today. I feel very, very grateful to Panditji. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity for all of us meeting together. And I've come here for the 3rd time, and when it's possible, some students, yoga students, are coming also. This year we are just a team of 6 persons. And it's very, very touching for us as foreigners to be invited as guests to give lectures in India, because you can imagine what it means to talk about yoga in a country where yoga is many centuries old. In the West, I am taking part of the whole, not the whole, the European Yoga Union as a teacher trainer in different countries from time to time. And we have meetings pretty often. That is about 17 countries together. And we are still questioning how we should go on, mainly with teacher training, what kind of image we have to give to yoga in general, because every week now, in different magazines, journalists are talking about yoga. And we do not control anything, of course, because it is not possible. But we are trying to push the journalists to talk about the deep knowledge of yoga, and not only about health and how to avoid being sick, because this is the main topic. So I'm very happy today to announce you there is an event which is going to happen just next weekend in Paris. And a few friends have organized it. And they're waiting for 8,000 people for a big yoga festival in Paris. And I know they didn't do it, but I told them, come into contact with Mishraji. But it was very busy, they didn't do it. So before I left, they gave me a message for you. And they say that they are ready and happy to work with you for the next year. Of course, I can't promise that will happen, but at least the intention is there. Then, lastly, regarding yoga itself, I came to India when I was 24, because everything I had learned in Europe, I had made agricultural studies, and then English studies too, and psychology. And everything I have learned at that time didn't give me any peace of mind, never. So I started another way. I started a journey coming to India, walking to India with a friend. And this has completely changed my whole life, because the first master I met seemed to be so intuitive. And he said, you know, whatever you learned might be useful for your social life, but that will never give you any kind of happiness. And what you're looking for is not a social position. You're looking for something deeper. And then I asked him, can you teach me? And he said, no, I don't want to teach you. You have to learn by yourself. And I was puzzled. I said, but what do you mean? You know, I know nothing. And he didn't give any answer. But I stayed with him days and days and days. And every day I was asking him, please give me some teaching. I really want to learn. Until one day, I don't know why, he said, okay, let's start. And I don't know what happened this particular moment, but for the last almost 36 years now, I have been trying to find this sensation again on the very first teaching I received. It was like a blessing. It was like if all of a sudden my whole life was becoming fresh. And up to now, every time I go into what might be called a practice, which is not always something very conventional, it might be something very, very simple within, I try to remember that moment, and very strangely, it happens again. It is not automatic. It doesn't come automatically, but it happens and happens and happens. Now my guru is dead. Well, that man is dead. And years going on, I became very close with the Udasin Sampradaya. And in front of you, I really want to insist on the power of the teachings which are going through human beings. And gurus are very important, of course, but students also. If there is no student, there is no guru. So this is something we sometimes are not very much aware that as a student, as a disciple, we are responsible for the whole teaching, for centuries old teaching. And all this process seems to have maybe no starting point, maybe no ending point, as if we were on the move, that spirituality is a movement. And of course, it has many other consequences. We have heard here many consequences regarding health, now management, then financial markets. This unity is what we are. And as students, as most of us here, we feel being students, we are the expression of this unity. And for that, you are marvelous. We all have this beautiful movement going on, universal, beautiful movement. And some of us become like little stars from time to time. And this is why I want once again to thank you, Panditji. Thank you. Thank you.